Okay, another day, another data visualization of Blankos. Blankos Block Party, the blockchain-based user-generated content game that is in open beta at the moment. It's been in open beta since November 2020. Now up to, I think it's 44 different NFT characters, Blanko characters have been made available. New ones sort of coming every week now. And also the marketplace is now in closed alpha, so it's email only invite at the moment, but in the marketplace people who have bought these NFTs can now start selling them. So previously these NFTs have been made available through the game shop, and they've either been limited in terms of the time they've been available for or the number of NFTs in which have been made available. So either the time's run out or the supply has been sold out, and then they're no longer available in the shops. People still own them, obviously, in their wallets, and as the marketplace rolls out to more people can start putting those NFTs on sale. So they can start setting the prices they want to sell them at, and then obviously people can come in and buy them. They're still very, very early. I will just kind of point this out, caveat. Very, very early. At the moment, the people who are in the marketplace, people like me, are pretty committed to Blankos. Been around since it started. Have probably fairly decent collections of Blankos. So they're not the kind of people who come in and are going to be buying a lot of NFTs. I don't think. They're more likely to be people who are selling them, or at least trying out the marketplace. As the marketplace opens up and more people come in, those people will, I imagine, have fewer Blankos NFTs and be keener on buying ones they haven't got, particularly at the lower price points. So it's very early days. I wouldn't draw too many conclusions from this. I'm just doing this because I like numbers and I like Blankos, and so two of my favourite things. So what's this graph all about? So what I've done here, down the bottom, these are all the names of various Blankos. This isn't a complete set, but this is a good chunk of the kind of cheaper Blankos. So it starts here. Finder of Lost Souls is currently one of the cheaper Blankos on the marketplace. So Finder of Lost Souls is about $20, Xantar about $20. Heading all the way up here to the most expensive one in this list is Katsumi, which is currently $630. So this is the horizontal axis is ordered by price, cheapest ones, most expensive ones. I've broken this down with some little lines here, so you can see anything to the left of this line is less than $50. We have $100 to $50 here, $300 to $100, $500 to $300, and then over $500 here. Okay, so that's the breakdown. So what are all these little dots? So these little dots are for the last 2 weeks or so. Every day I've just been roughly noting down the price of these. So the price of these goes up and down. Obviously, if people come in and they put a price on a Blankos and someone comes in and buys that, then obviously the price sort of goes up because the cheapest ones have been bought. In some cases, not so much on these ones, but in some cases on the more expensive ones. So some axes. So I keep saying axes. Some Blankos, Freudian sit there. Some Blankos are priced at thousands of dollars. And they might not be purchased, but people might put them on sale at a certain price and then decide they're going to take them off again. So there is pricing changing happening there, but it's not really because people are buying them, as is happening with these cheaper ones. So all of these dots are prices that. So for each day, this is the cheapest price that you could have bought these Blankos. So we can see for some of them, so Finder of Lost Souls has basically not been priced very expensively. It's basically, this is on a percentage basis, obviously. So basically, Finder of Lost Souls is always about the same price, always about $20. Sometimes 20. I think sometimes it was $30. Sometimes a bit less. Although really that should be the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's sort of rough. So you can kind of see here is this the length of this sort of. If you draw a line through them all, if you can imagine a line, the length of this line shows how much change there is in the cheapest price available. And the big black dot is the price when I created this graph. So for this example here, we can see Xantar. Has varied in price from obviously 100% up to 150%. So there's some variation in price. In this case, this would be $20 to $30. But when I did this graph, his price, or the price, was the lowest it's been. So the price has changed. There has been ones more expensive prices made available, but now the price is at the cheapest it's been. And in contrast, Freddy Yeti here, again, quite a kind of big variation, but the variation now, the day I took it, was up here. So he has been cheaper, but it has been cheaper, but the price velocity seems to be going up. So basically, you can see the lower down, the black line, the black dot is the kind of that's suggesting the pricing velocity is downwards, and the higher up the black dot is on this line, that suggests the price is going up. So the price velocity here is going up. The price velocity for all these ones down here is going down. So again, I would say can't draw too many conclusions from these, but I think it's just worth having a quick look. So the pricing here, this is from $20 up to about $50, and we can see some of these at the top end here. They're not really they're not really the most expensive ones because they're still only $50. We can see here something like Lumberjack is at the price seems to be going up. Mayo again. So these ones here seem to be sort of the price at this kind of $50 mark seems to be going up. You have to be a little bit careful because the price also for each individual NFT series depends on the serial number. So if you were selling serial number 1, that would be a very different pricing to serial number 2057. The serial number for 2057 is going to be, there's no distinguishing factor around that, so it'd be cheap. The price that the number 1 would sell at would be, even for the cheapest Blanko, would be probably hundreds, probably thousands of dollars. If you're selling number 1 of Finder of Lost Souls, I imagine that would probably sell for a few $1,000s. But because the marketplace is quite small at the moment, and we're not seeing many. I've not seen any number 1s being sold. I've seen a few number 2s, number 3s, something like that being sold. But we're not seeing number 1s, which clearly have a price premium on them as well. So we can just kind of see it's a little bit all over the place. But some of them, I would say in general, a lot of them are the price is still going down because more people are coming in and basically putting them on the market. And if someone's got one for $20 and you want to sell yours, then you've got to put it for $19. So you kind of have this price velocity downwards. Conversely, if the price is going up, so someone puts it for $50 and that one sells, then the next cheapest available one might be $51. So we have, in this case, when it's going up, we have sort of an automatic driver of price going up, because if people are buying them, then the price is obviously going up unless more people start putting their Blankos on sale at a cheaper price. But the kind of automatic reaction in this situation is if the price goes up, the price keeps going up, and if the price is going down, people manually are putting their price cheaper. So we have sort of two different things going on here. So it's a bit all over the place for these ones. Interestingly, for these sort of up to $100 ones, the price velocity here is sort of downwards. When it comes to these $300 up to $300 ones, some of them the price is sort of going down, and some of them the price appears to be. I mean, this one here, Taco, is actually has the biggest variation. So from 100% up to sort of 230%. So quite a lot of variation. It's kind of sitting in the middle at the moment. If you bought at this price, you've done quite well. I mean, that's another thing to think about. If you bought altitude down here, then you've got currently got a good deal. If you bought them up there, you sort of overpaid from what you could have got, depending on what the serial number you bought, obviously. So here we have these ones up to. So what's interesting about these ones here, particularly in this set here, is these ones are ones that you couldn't buy. So the majority of these you could have bought them, and they were selling at $10 pretty much. $10 to $20 is the price for most of these. So people know what the price was when they bought them, so they have a sort of fair idea what they want to sell it at. These ones here, so Mythical Camo, Peanut FC, El Chart, Texas, and Frostbite. These were some of the ones that were given away. So you couldn't buy these at all. So it's kind of it's interesting to see, what price should these be priced at. So it's about 3,000 in terms of the supply of each of these. Each of these is about 3,000 out there, but we don't really know how many are going to be in the actually available in the system, because these were given away on Twitter and social media campaigns. So we don't quite know how many of these are going to come in live. Frostbite, there's only 1,000 of those, I think. They were given away to people in the game last Christmas. So we assume there's going to be 1,000 of those. So there's some interesting. I kind of look at these ones in particular because it's not very clear to me what price these should be. I mean, obviously the price of these things is going to go up or down, over time. As more people come in, the price will probably go up. As people start, as the price goes up, then it will peak and then come down again. So there's always price velocity, depending on how many new players are playing. or coming in. But these ones here are interesting because even for people like me who are kind of quite into blankos, it's not quite clear. Should these be super expensive or should these be priced like the ones you bought for $10? At the moment, they're obviously more expensive because they're in this range here, kind of $300 to $500. But we can see here the price velocity is not very clear, particularly kind of frostbite. Quite a tight pack there. The one interesting one here that I will talk about in a bit more detail is Kasumi. So there's only 400 of these. These were sold at $150. That's the most expensive blankos to be sold, and with only 400 of them, that's the fewest that have been sold in a drop, and it sold out very quickly within 10 minutes. So we can see here the price of all of these. The price velocity for Kasumi is very much upwards. so there's been the obviously cheapest price was here 100%, and then the price has, not necessarily that these are in chronological order, but the price is up 250% from the lowest price, and it has moved around chronologically in this period of time. But we can see it's quite a big jump up there, and nothing, well, apart from the only other one that's had a bigger price jump is Blankenstein. Blankenstein was given away on the E3 Twitch stream. So when that was first given away, there weren't very many of them, and people had them on sale for over $100. I don't think anyone bought it for $100. Now the price has gone back to about $40, I think. So this makes sense that this price is dropping down because there's more supply of these coming in, and people sort of realise the value of it, and it was given away for free. So if you sell it for anything, you're making a profit to some degree. With this one here is $150, and I say this one's now actually $630. It's selling at because there's only 400 of those. So it's an interesting way, I think, of looking at data. It does take a bit of time to sort of set up, so I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to be doing it for, but I am sort of interested in blankos. So this sort of thing, I think, does show interesting patterns, and I think over time these sort of patterns will become clearer. I think at the moment it's a bit all over the place because you have more supply from people who are trying to sell blankos than you have demand for people wanting to buy blankos. So that's why it's a bit by the by. But I think over time we'll start to see, particularly when you break these down by the season in which they were given away chronologically. I think we'll start to see. Obviously, we tend to think the older ones have more value because they're more OG in the terminology. But we'll see. Obviously, there's another thing playing into how many of these NFTs are actually supplied. And obviously, Kasumi with only 400, Frostbite with only 1,000. These are more expensive because there's fewer of them. We'll see how that plays out over time. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where I spend our time digging into the world of blockchain games, and particularly digging pretty deeply into the world of blankos, because that's interesting for me at least. But thanks for watching the video, and see you again soon.